This week, Drew McIntyre becomes the chosen one once again, someone get Alex Wolf an ice pack, and we get an appearance from Beth Phoenix, the Titty Stomper. Welcome to the Full Nelson Press. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Full Nelson Press. My name is Brandon Kirkpatrick. I'm here with my co-host, Peter O'Brien. You can find him on Twitter at MVP360. You can find myself on Twitter at JohnnyJONNY_Tango. And you can also follow the Full Nelson Press on Twitter at TFNP. Pete, how you been, buddy?
Dude, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. We decided to come out of retirement. The demands were endless.
It's your boy.
We needed to bring this back, you know?
Well, so much has happened in our lives and in wrestling.
Yeah, it's been crazy, you know?
You got engaged, and you bought a house. I bought a house.
We're just buying houses, dude.
This
and
is
like
a monopoly.
That's that TFNP money. Just kidding. No, but we've been, just kind of watching wrestling. It got to the point where we both sat down, looked at each other, and we're like, let's bring it back, man. Let's go.
Because we still talk every week. Like, we haven't stopped watching wrestling. We've just kind of talking to ourselves. So we're like, hey, let's bring it back. Which is cool. So let's see. So what has happened since we've done the show? Fox now owns SmackDown. SmackDown's kind of like the A show now, is where they're kind of going with it. Punk is somewhat back in the WWE.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I'm glad he's back, but it's just funny. Like, he is burying the product, and I think it's hilarious how he does it.
Right.
But he also has, like, smart points. So, no, he's not back wrestling. But I'm glad they're letting his mind work, you know?
Exactly. Well, Fox is letting him talk, which is cool. And the other thing is AEW is now officially a thing.
Dude, I dig it. And I'm glad there's a rivalry again. And I really hope this pushes, WWE into the stratosphere of write better scripts. And Absolutely. It looks like after the Rumble, they might be doing that.
I think so, too. I'm excited. Let's get into some news. Mike Kanellis, he sounds like he might be going to NXT. They did try putting him into the Cruiserweight division, and sounds like that they had him debut just recently in Florida, where he teamed with Tony Nese in a tag match under NXT. So okay. I'm kind of excited about that. Right. They need to do something with him. He's kind of been just dead in the water since he debuted.
Has anyone had a worse debut than Mike Kanellis? Like it's up there with Emelina.
Lord Tensai or when Emma,
Tensai's
they try to repackage Emma, and then we're like, Eva Marie could do it better.
It was so bad for him, and he's a good wrestler. So I'm glad he's back down in NXT, and I kind of like how NXT is becoming this, like a safe haven for these good wrestlers that don't have anywhere to go on the main roster right now.
I agree. You could tell there's this shift where Tyler Breeze was one of them, and I wouldn't be surprised. Apollo Crews, and we've been seeing more in NXT. It makes sense to, if you're not going to do anything with them on any of the other brands, bring them to the yellow brand, see what they'll do with them there. Because there's some people we don't see for weeks. Like, we have not seen Velveteen Dream really wrestle. He just makes appearances here and there. I know he's injured right now, but even when he was full time, we still didn't see him on weekly shows for a while.
No, I think he's kind of like bigger, and I think they're working on moving him up. Right. I think that's the plan. Mm-hmm. But Apollo Crews, why? Why did he get called up? There's one.
You got to give him a gimmick, though. Like, he has nothing
that's the thing.
to him.
He has nothing. So, let him go back down to NXT Absolutely. And have a crowd behind him, because they're going to cheer him because he's good, but he can't sell.
He's in a weird place because he can't. He does all the flips like he's in 205, but he outweighs the entire division, so you can't put him in there. So his gimmick now is like, well, he could do flips, but so can half the roster. So you got to give him something. Maybe he's got to be the next person to be with Lana.
The other aspect too, you can look at it. Ew. The dude can't sell though, and he can't talk. He's got like nothing. He's just plain Jane,
Titus Worldwide was the best part of him.
Yeah, like he just needs to get like either a backbone or something to stand on. It's just kind of like a guy who's like, hi, I'm Apollo and I love wrestling and I do cool things. And everyone just kind of goes, okay, cool. We're glad you're here, man.
Yeah, neat story.
Go wrestle. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I can't wait, guys. Goodbye. But he's one that I really wish would like find something. So NXT, I think they're doing a smart thing right now. I dig it.
I agree. Hopefully he finds his footing in something. Speaking of NXT, before we get into Worlds Collide, Keith Lee defeated Roderick Strong, and he's now North American champion.
And Keith Lee is getting pushed, and I'm not a big Keith Lee fan, but also, like, he's warming up to me. Like, I think I need to watch him more, but
I think what got me over with him was what you and I went and saw. We got to go to Survivor Series, and him in Survivor Series was just, it was phenomenal. Like, I enjoyed everything he was doing in the ring. I enjoy his character. I love his entrance. I think Keith Lee is going to be the next big guy to come into the WWE. I think he's going to outsell anything that Braun Strowman has done. In merchandise-wise, on card-wise, I think he is somebody that people want to see.
Braun Strowman, you just don't know what they're going to have him do. Like, is he going to come out and fight like 8 guys and win? Like, right. Or is he going to get buried once he gets to the top again?
That's Strowman's career. They give him this run and then they just stop it right before they're about to execute something with him. And I cannot be interested in him anymore.
Exactly. And I've heard things such as he's backstage, like he's rubbed people the wrong way, and that's why it's kind of like he's kind of like erratic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Keith Lee is good, like move him up, but don't do it like you've done every other NXT person that just kind of waits. Aleister Black, what's going on?
Right? He fought
nothing. Buddy Murphy a bunch, and then Buddy Murphy gets the big push with Seth Rollins, and
Black went 3-0 in that feud.
I'm going back to my closet and leave me alone. Goodbye. And they're like, well, no, we're gonna do more with you, Aleister. Nope, I don't want it. These NXT stars, it just bugs me how they get brought up, and it's handled so poorly, even though they could be so good and such a big key to the roster. Like Buddy Murphy, finally. Let's go.
Oh, I'm excited for that whole faction with Seth Rollins, AOP, and Buddy Murphy. I'm so excited for that. But let's get right into Worlds Collide. We'll talk to that later. First match was Finn Balor. He defeated some guy named Dragunov. A lot of these people I just don't know because they were from the UK, and I cannot find the appeal of watching wrestling at 4 a.m.
Same. It's hard. Dude, there's too much wrestling going on right now.
I know.
And it's hard to keep up with everything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Imagine adding up all the hours, and plus with like AEW too, because I'm going to watch it.
Good. Because I can't. I'm not going to.
Oh, it's so good. But I'm glad there is a UK version, and it was kind of nice to see him on the spotlight with one of the NXT shows, but I'm not going to go and follow UK NXT anymore,
right.
though. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree.
But the match was good. Balor's good. I like how he's reinvented himself.
I love the heel. I love the heel gimmick. I like that they are able to let him finally be a heel and bring it into NXT. I think he could stay in NXT for a while now, because NXT is no longer the C show. Like it's a whole package now. You can't look at any of the shows differently, regardless of what WWE's doing with them. Next is Jordan Deville. He wins the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. He defeats Isaiah Swerve Scott, and then the former champion Angelo Garza. I like him. And then there's Travis Banks. First time seeing this guy. Congratulations to Jordan, but I mean, the 205 division is just all over the place right now. Garza's awesome. Next match is DIY defeats Mustache Mountain, which was a fun match. It was kind of cool seeing DIY back together again. They keep advertising it like it's their last time they're going to see each other, but it's clearly not. We're going to see more DIY matches.
Yep, and those are two guys that I hope to stay in NXT, because I don't see where they could fit in the main roster right now.
Right.
At this moment, I can't see it.
They're NXT sweethearts, and let's just keep them that way. Because, I mean, I could obviously see Tommaso Ciampa as a main eventer, as a top heel, and any division they put him at, but let's just not rock the boat. I dig where they're at. Yep,
I'm afraid he's going to get thrown into the cruiserweight. Like, that's the problem with me and, like, NXT stars. I'm afraid they're not going to get their due because they don't.
Well, the cool thing, it sounds like they're getting rid of 205 Live, which I think is
good.
The biggest wrench in the roster right now is 205, because I don't want to see any of the Undisputed Era in 205. They won't be as big as they would be if you just put them on Raw. So Yeah, I'm all about that. Rhea Ripley retains her NXT Championship against Toni Storm, which another great match. These two are best friends, so you knew they were going to put on a heavy match, and it was fun. The one big noticeable part, though, is they removed the women's part of the NXT Champion. It's now just NXT Champion for both men and women. They don't share the title. They both have their separate titles. They're just both just the same name, I guess.
Hope it works.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I see why they did it, but also I could see this, like, turning around and just being like, what?
Right. TNA also changed their women's championship name to Tessa Blanchard is a Miserable Bitch. So that's pretty cool.
She is hated right now.
Oh, my God. The heat.
It's so great.
You could feel it.
It's so great reading that. Yep.
Tegan Nox attacks Dakota Kai ringside. Cool fucking story. Then Balor attacks Gargano backstage to set up, I think it's NXT Portland. And then we get the main event, which is Imperium versus the Undisputed Era. Imperium comes out victorious, but no one looked bad in this match. It was amazing, except for poor Alexander Wolf. He just takes this kick to the face, and he's just out. And even the ref has to, like, pretend like he kicks out. It was bad.
I did catch that part. That was awesome. And I'm, like, sitting there, I'm like, oh. But those two teams can put on a show. Emporium's good.
Oh,
like, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was good all around. I did enjoy it, you know? Good job, NXT.
So it sounds like this is going to be a yearly thing, this Worlds Collide pay-per-view, which I think is great. If it's just NXT versus NXT UK, it's going to deliver every time. I thought this was a solid A. I loved every match. Everything was fun. Yep. Everything just kept moving so smoothly, just like every NXT event does.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely dug it, and I agree with you there, man. Like, NXT just gets it.
Are you ready for the Rumble, dude? You ready to talk about the Rumble?
Dude. Oh, let's talk Rumble.
So much Rumble. So let's talk about poor Sheamus. He defeats Shorty G in the first match of the pre-show. How would you feel? You know, we're going to have you do a big return, and then you're the first match of the pre-show. Womp womp.
I couldn't believe that that's where they put Sheamus. But also, I can't believe they're still writing the name Shorty G. Like, I can't even say it.
Oh, it's so bad. How would he say okay to that?
It is killing his momentum for, like, someone... I really like Chad Gable. So when he switched his name to Shorty G, I'm like, I really don't like Chad Gable. Like, to be honest. Like, that's how much a name impacts a wrestler.
It does.
So
I don't get it. Like, I don't see where they're going to go with it. There's no fun play on words or anything like that. Next match, Andrade retains his U.S. title against Humberto.
Like, he's another guy that I just think I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? That's it. Like, there's nothing there, and Andrade's way better.
We have so many great people. We just need personalities to add to them, and you just don't get that with people like Humberto and Apollo Crews.
Yep. No, I totally get it. Like, Humberto, I'm just like, what does he do, and what's his cape?
What's your thing? What's your jib?
Yeah, like, are you a superhero? Like, I don't get it. Like, I thought that was Ricochet. Like, I don't know why are there so many capes?
It's not even his. It feels like he stole it from Kalisto, and Kalisto's just back there looking for his fucking cape.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, I don't know where it's at. And Humberto's like, well, I can't speak Spanish, so I can't do a good impression of him. But you get it. You get it.
Next, before we get into the actual event, Bayley gets on the commentating table and threatens not only Lacey Evans, but her daughter as well. Which now I just want to see Lacey Evans and her daughter versus Bayley and the Bayley girl.
This heel turn for Bayley has just failed. And this face turn for Lacey Evans has failed. They don't work. Like, no. Lacey Evans is a natural heel. Bayley's a natural face. And it just doesn't work.
Nowhere at all do we see Sasha. I saw some rumors online that says that she was injured, maybe an ankle injury, but I don't know if that's for true or not. But it's another Rumble where no Banks.
Yep, and you know, I did hear she was injured, but still, like, even like the match, I'm watching these two, and I'm like, I still think Lacey looks like the mean one, and Bayley's the nice one. Like, even the haircut doesn't stop.
Bayley doesn't even look like the nice one. It's just she just looks like the sad one. It's not a heel gimmick. She's just sad.
Womp womp.
Well, I'm Bayley, and I just want to be sad.
I'm sad, and I used to hug people. Now I gotta slap them.
She's a slapper.
Yeah, I'm a slapper. Oh, that would be such a good gimmick for Bayley, her being a slapper.
Rhea Ripley just full on spanks Toni Storm in the middle of one of the matches. Just gives her a good smack on the ass. Like, and the commentators have to pretend like it was like, oh, what a move.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa.
First official match of the night, Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere. I absolutely hate Falls Count Anywhere matches. I've not found a single good Falls Count Anywhere match because all it is just tomfoolery around the arena for 30 minutes. Then they get back to the ring and pit each other. That's all it is.
They do a lot of walking. Mm-hmm. They just keep grabbing each other's heads, walk a little bit, one punch, walk a little bit, find a place to do a spot. And the biggest spots were the Usos. Like, right? They did the biggest spots.
So Rude and Ziggler come in to help out Corbin, and then both the Usos come in, they jump off shit, and then they're just like, okay, thanks, bye. And then they just leave the match and just leave Roman and Corbin to fight on top of a dugout.
Yeah, and there was a point where we're sitting there, we're like, the people who are involved in this match are not on screen.
Uh-huh.
What? Why?
Then when they do get back on screen, it's Roman throwing Corbin into a porta potty and then flips it. You understand you still have to pin this sneaky motherfucker, right?
Hi, I'm Baron Corbin, and this is the Poo Cocktail 2. When he gets out of it, he wasn't even dirty.
He wasn't even dirty. It was an empty porta potty.
I was more let down that it wasn't full.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Roman actually pin a shit-covered Baron.
Yeah, and then have him just be like, oh, this is gross. This is worse than dog food. I mean, the finish you saw coming. It was telegraphed. You knew, like, Baron Corbin wasn't going to win. You know what I would have been like? If Corbin caught Reigns and did the end of days on top of the dugout and pinned him, and I would have been like, what? I would have actually been hyped, but Roman got his moment, and yeah, I mean, he's always going to get his moments, and that's the character of Roman Reigns now. Like, he's John Cena 2.0, and you're going to get more of an excitement if he loses now than winning, because when he wins, we're just kind of like, whatever. But he's got a big following now. You can't deny it. So
definitely does.
For all the heat he gets, there was a lot of people standing up with, with their fists in the air, and I'm just like, really? All right. I mean, I guess, like, he did come back from a big thing. Let's be real. Like, that's pretty big. But still, the character Roman Reigns, I'm just like, okay.
Well, it's just a booking. Like, I'm tired of seeing Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre or Baron Corbin.
Let's hope this is done. Like, let's hope we move on from it. That was it. And then Baron Corbin can take on... God, I don't even know who he's going to get matched up with next.
The Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He's taking on the whole statue.
I can see that. He's going to be fighting his statue.
Absolutely. I'm calling it now, January 27th, that Roman Reigns will be the first person to pin the Fiend.
I can see that. It's horrible, but I can see it.
As much as they want to say whoever the face of the company is, since Roman has returned, he is still absolutely face of the company, number one guy. They just don't want to push him as hard. But yeah, he absolutely is number one guy in the business.
Yep.
Next is the Women's Rumble match. Starts with Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair. Both do amazing performances through this whole thing. I was surprised that Bliss kind of got eliminated a little bit earlier than Bianca did, but Bianca ended up actually clearing the ring at one point.
Yeah. She did, and what was great too is 8 eliminations. Bianca Belair is a star.
Oh, she's I've
stacked. Liked her for a while. She is awesome. Like, I liked seeing her eliminate people. Molly Holly with that haircut, Karen, like, she looked like someone who was about to complain about her coffee at Starbucks.
Where's the manager?
That is what I definitely got from that, is just like, oh my God, this woman looks like she couldn't return her JCPenney sweater and really needed the manager. And then they brought back Kelly, which I was like, meh.
No Trish, no Lita this year, so that was kind of cool.
Hey, but Beth Phoenix, good for you.
Beth Phoenix, stud of the night.
She was bleeding a lot out of her head, and she's just like, I'll keep going. Yeah, she killed it. I thought it was great. You thought Shayna Baszler was going to win, right?
Especially like coming in at 30.
And if she would have won, you would have been like, well, but Charlotte winning makes sense, I guess, for the fact that she's done everything else except that. So now she's got that accolade.
Once Shayna came out, I immediately started rooting for Charlotte. She was going to be the one to win it. I was worried that it was going to be Shayna, though. I was generally worried that they were going to, because I just don't think I don't see anybody in the Rumble right now, or in the women's roster I'd really want to see her take on. I'd rather them kind of build up the whole horsewomen versus horsewomen thing, which I think is what they're trying to plant the seeds for in this Rumble match. Because I think 2020 they're going to do that.
You could easily do Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch, because that's already instilled, and people would be fine with that match. I would have been okay with her winning. But now we're going to get Charlotte taking on, who's she going to take on? Bayley? Or Becky again? No one wants to see that again.
Both women's champions that we see right now, she's already not only taken on, but taken on in a WrestleMania match. So, yeah, it's going to really surprise me on what they're going to do, if they're going to change some title hands to make it a better match for us.
But, like the Women's Rumble, I'm not going to lie. I thought overall it was great.
Some really cool spots. Otis saving Mandy.
That's entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
I dig it. Mm-hmm. I dig the Otis Mandy story. I think it's awesome.
Lana and Liv Morgan, that was played out. We knew they were going to be close to each other number-wise, and they were going to eliminate each other. There was no surprises there. It was cool, though, seeing the Queen Charlotte versus Belair for a little bit. We got some of that, which was really cool. That's a match I'd like to see, is Belair versus Charlotte. Going back, though, to Beth Phoenix hitting her head, she stayed in that just so that way they had a spot for Santina Marella at the end, because I think he was like number 28 or 27, and she stayed all the way to the end just to get that done.
Yep. I mean, it was kind of predictable that Santino was going to come out as that.
Next year, it'll be R-Truth coming out on accident. I guarantee that's what it's going to be.
I am okay with that.
Yeah, me too. I think R-Truth's gimmick is better than it's ever been. I enjoy seeing him with that title, too. Mm-hmm. Next, Bayley retains her title against Lacey Evans by grabbing the tights for a pinfall.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. These two aren't working. It's not a good rivalry.
No.
It's like the writers just got everything opposite. Like, absolutely. If they just flip the stories and made Bayley the face and Lacey the heel with the belt, I'd probably be more on board. But right now, I'm not. And the problem is Lacey got pushed too quick. She has the look. She can be good. I do like the Southern Belle character, but more the heel version. But she is going to destroy someone. Did you see that move where she jumped off the ropes?
Oh, yeah.
It's like killed Bayley.
Going back to crazy moves, did you see Beth Phoenix just stomping the shit out of Charlotte's boobs?
Yep. And we're all just kind of like, stop it. I don't think they can take that.
That hurts.
Yeah. But, yeah, back to Lacey Evans. She's still reckless. She's still trying to do moves that she hasn't perfected yet, and it's crazy. Like, she needs to slow down.
Right.
But, yeah, the match happened. Whatever.
D-Bry versus The Fiend in a strap match, which, strap matches are stupid. It's just 30 minutes of both of them spanking each other. That's all it is.
So, I really like The Fiend, and I like happy-go-lucky Bray Wyatt, and I like Daniel Bryan. The thing, like you said, Roman Reigns is probably going to be the one to beat him. Mm-hmm. Because The Fiend, has this super power where out of nowhere nothing hurts him and he just wins.
Yeah, he just doesn't sell anything.
That's a dangerous line to walk, WWE. He could still take pain and show it, but when you have him just be unstoppable, then you're now you're blurring it.
Well, it's the same thing with Brock. Brock doesn't sell. That's how they just say, this is our boss battles of wrestling. It's just people who we just write that they don't sell.
But that's the thing I think is scary right now with Bray Wyatt is he's almost getting on this path where you're just well, now it's kind of silly.
Sure.
Granted, wrestling's silly enough on its own.
Right.
But this is pushing, we don't need silliness added to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I did dig it. I like Bray Wyatt.
The one change up to this match was it's always been that they just beat the hell out of the Fiend the whole time. But this time it kind of felt like the Fiend just kind of kicked D-Bry's ass for almost the entire match. And then it just ends with this mandible claw, which wasn't very momentous at all. He just puts his fingers in his fucking mouth, and then they just call it. But I don't know where they go with... I mean, the Fiend, the sky's the limit with him, but for D-Bry, I don't know where he goes after this.
Also, stop trying to fake us out like he's retiring. That took forever. Your show's long enough. Just go.
Just go.
Just go. Mm-hmm. Get out.
Right now we have the Man versus Asuka, the Disarmer versus the Asuka Lock, which this match could just be summed up with how many kicks to the face can Becky take?
Yep. And Asuka's too good, and Kairi Sane's too good, and they're both the tag title, and they're not defending it.
Well, it's the Rumble. I could get it.
Yeah, but I don't get, Asuka, if she would have won, I would have been pumped, but all the lines and everything, written on the wall was showing me Becky's winning.
Oh, absolutely.
The match was good. I'm just kind of bored with Becky Lynch right now. I think I've seen her too much that I'm just over her matches right now.
Who would be her next opponent to you? Who would you put her against, I guess, in WrestleMania?
I would say if you want to draw, it's going to be Shayna Baszler. She's going to be the draw. It isn't going to be anyone else. Shayna Baszler's unstoppable, basically. And she's good, though. I used to hate Shayna Baszler, but what she does is she puts on matches.
Oh, yeah.
She would be a good piece for that spot.
I agree.
I don't know anyone else in women's wrestling right now that could take that spot. Like, Bianca Belair isn't big enough yet.
They would need more time. I think for even Shayna Baszler, I think they would just need more time. For people not watching NXT to understand who Shayna Baszler is, like, I just don't think there's 70 days or 69 days, nice, until WrestleMania. But
I think Survivor Series helped.
That's true.
She's known. It's kind of like the Keith Lee effect. He's known.
True. Okay.
And let's be real, people are watching NXT. Like, they're not maybe watching like at that one point in time on Wednesday, but they're going back and watching it and they're seeing all this stuff. These people are more known than back in the day when NXT was first there. Like when Seth Rollins first came up, I was like, I don't know who that is. Oh, he's from Iowa? That's cool.
Yeah, neat.
I think Shayna Baszler would be the best person.
Okay. Maybe she should have won the Rumble then. Maybe it should have been her. We'll see where this whole thing just unfolds. I really just don't want it to be Charlotte versus Becky again.
That's what I'm afraid of.
All right, man, here it is, the final match. The Men's Royal Rumble starts with Brock Lesnar, and then he eliminates 13 people back to back.
So, first of all, you say, like, Brock Lesnar doesn't sell. So, here's where I can't believe I'm going to say this. He put over some people in this match. I hate to say it. Now, granted, John Morrison, that's a terrible spot.
Why would you put him there?
Why would you put him there? What was the point?
So I have a conspiracy. They said there was a backstage altercation between Matt Riddle and Brock Lesnar. And we've been seeing on Instagram, Matt Riddle has been kind of saying, like, I could kick Brock Lesnar's ass. And I guess they had to have, like, a streaming match between the two of them in the hallway. And I almost feel like that where Morrison came out should have been Riddle's spot. And because they had this altercation, because Riddle, they throw him in at, like, in the mid-20s, I think. And then he immediately gets eliminated. He doesn't get any kind of a spot at all, which is weird for an NXT guy that's over like Riddle is. I think that was Morrison's spot. I think Riddle was supposed to come out and have some back-to-back with Lesnar, and then they just cut that shit short after they had this altercation.
That could have been it.
Because it didn't make sense with Morrison being at number 4 or whatever the fuck he was at.
And he gets eliminated so quick, like, he got hosed.
Welcome back.
But let's talk about this. Keith Lee is over.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. And Brock Lesnar helped.
Yep.
Because his facial
You're
expressions.
You're a big boy. You're a big boy.
He's like, okay. Like, Brock Lesnar helped. Like, when Drew McIntyre comes out, like, you see him stand next to Lesnar, and you're like, that guy is a star. And for what he's come back from, and, like, from what he first was to now, like, him eliminating Lesnar, and then eliminating people, and doing moves, and going back over, and staring at Lesnar, I'm like, I'm on board with that match by far.
I did like how Ricochet didn't eliminate Brock, but he did help in some way, just like they kind of foreshadowed on Raw like 2 weeks ago. So that was really cool. And then fucking Edge returns. Yeah. Looks like he's got a 3-year deal.
Like when Edge came out, that crowd went nuts. I mean, we all did too. We were all just like, what? Like, I can't believe he's back.
No way.
I can't believe he's back. And then he started spearing people, and I'm like, oh, don't leave with your head. Like, don't do that. We want you to stay healthy, but
right.
I mean, the crowd reaction, like videos that I saw, like on Facebook, like of people being next to it, like Edge is huge.
He's big.
And I think Edge is like perfect for WWE right now. Like, he's a good fit.
Oh yeah.
Had a nice little moment that rated RKO tag team.
That was really cool. I think Randy really helped out with that.
That was neat.
Once he comes out, he spears Styles. Styles oversells it and lands on his shoulder, fucks his shoulder up. You could see him tell the ref, hey, have Edge eliminate me because I'm fucking done. So they eliminate AJ Styles, and then Carl Anderson, you can see on his face like, wait a minute, we had a bit coming up, because you see Luke Gallows come down next, and then I think it was who's Styles feuding with ends up eliminating both of them. Maybe Orton? I don't know. But there was something that got nixed in mid-match. Hope Styles is fine. I haven't seen anything on that at all.
Well, also, don't forget the fact that Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens came out. They get this feud with Seth Rollins and like his lackeys. So I was like, you know, I'd be so on board if Samoa Joe won. And we got Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, too, because that match I thought was great. Mm-hmm. And I knew it wasn't going to, because they were like, hey, we still have this problem with Seth Rollins. Oh, so you say we're going to fight him again? Like, that's what...
Right.
Yeah. So I saw that, and I'm like, well, that's over. But, of course, the big dog, right? He was one of the final 3.
Which I was worried, because I thought he was winning.
You knew WWE was trolling fans by leaving him as one of the
As the last one, yeah.
And but the thing is like, they pulled the trigger the other way, and Roman Reigns could have easily won that match, and we would have been like, well, Brandon, I don't want to do the show anymore. Like, I would have just been done. But, yeah, and who was the other one?
It was Edge, Roman, and Drew were the last three. Orton was the fourth, and then he ended up getting eliminated by Edge.
Yeah, and Edge looks good.
It looked good and was on the ball.
Yeah, he did great, and I hope he brings back, like, that fire, and, like, he was doing the ultimate opportunist stuff, too. You saw some of that in the match, which I dug, and...
Well, now he looks more like a Rob Zombie villain than anything else.
Absolutely. Well, Rob Zombie's like, can I still do Halloween movies? Edge, do you want to be in it? I've read the dialogue to your movies, dude. No, I'm good. I'm going with the fight.
Deuces.
Yeah. So, good for Edge. But Drew Mack.
Finally, man. Finally, Drew is getting the push he deserves.
He's been just sitting there, and he's great. He has the look. He has the attitude. He can just leave him as the Scottish psychopath, but he can still be a face. Like I'll snap.
He's stacked. He's big. He's great on the mic. Mm-hmm. I think if you have him going to news station to news station to push your product, he delivers, and you can look at that guy and be like, that's a fucking wrestler right there.
Yep, absolutely. Good job, Drew Mack.
Yeah, good job.
Also, Men's Rumble, loved it. I liked it.
Grade the Rumble. The whole thing. What would you give it?
Overall, well, it's mostly the two Rumbles that were good. I'd probably give it like a good B minus. We'll go B minus because the other matches were just not there. Not on the caliber, but you watch the Rumble for the Rumbles, and the Rumbles are great. And it brought it up to, I'd say, like a B minus-ish. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right on. I'll give it a B. I'm going to give it a B because I liked the storytelling that they were doing. I really liked that.
I'm actually excited to, see what happens on Raw. See if, we get some storylines, see if Edge starts doing something, because this is kind of like the fun season. Like, this is usually where neat stuff happens or someone gets called up, and I think Shayna Baszler's getting called up tonight. I think she is.
This is the road to WrestleMania started with the Rumble, and I think it's going to be a crazy one, especially we have 3 brands right now. We still have, I think there's one pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, so that could fuck off, but then we have one NXT pay-per-view, and I think that's it until WrestleMania. I could be wrong.
Is Elimination Chamber, is that usually before or after? That's before.
It's before. So yeah, I think we might have Elimination Chamber. It's weird because they have the Saudi Arabia event going on too, so I don't know where everything is right now. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where everything gets mixed up.
You know what you could do? And this is just one of my predictions. Baszler comes out on SmackDown, says, I want Bayley, ends Bayley, ends her.
Right on.
Bayley goes away again for a little bit. Baszler has the title. And Charlotte thought she was going to take on Bayley, but Baszler has the title, and you got a Charlotte-Baszler feud.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd be okay with a Charlotte-Baszler feud because I think this 2020 will be the year where it's 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen, and you can have that feud with all 8 of those women through the whole year, exchange it all up, and then have one big match at the end of the year.
Well, the best part too is if you got to it, and Baszler's like, yeah, I'm the champ, and all of her friends keep coming out and jumping Charlotte, then you have Bayley and Sasha Banks run out and help Charlotte, and there you go. You're starting to plant these seeds, and then Ronda Rousey comes out, and that's when Becky Lynch comes out, and then you got all these feuds back.
Absolutely, that's what I like.
To me, that's the only thing that can really wow the people to watch the women's match at Mania.
Absolutely,
if they build it up like that, that'd be awesome.
I completely agree. Next week though is going to be the conclusion to the Dusty Rhodes Classic. It's going to be the grizzled young veterans versus the Broserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. Who's winning this, Pete?
I think it's going to be Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. Even though there is an actual tag team, but that's usually how NXT goes. And then maybe there's a heel turn, because that's how they get matches. That's how they get a storyline. Right. So I have a feeling Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, something's going to mess up and they're going to hate each other. And that's a match which I'd watch Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle feud.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I'd absolutely be cool with that.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, because to set it up for NXT Portland for the next pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
All right, Pete.
Hey, also, you know who we didn't talk about?
Who's that?
Do you know who we didn't talk about who came back?
Who came back? Oh, MVP! MVP came back.
Well, MVP came
Which
back.
Which just got overshadowed by Edge.
Because he got chucked out. And he got chucked out in a second. Feel the glow.
Oh, no!
Bring it to the floor.
She's back. She's amazing.
I like the flow.
Dude, I get it. She's good. She's an athlete, but God, she can't talk. And some of her moves, I'm just like, I don't know.
All right, Preet, we're bringing it back. Who is the dud of the week?
So my dud would have to go to John Morrison because of that spot. Like, that was just a bad spot for him. I feel bad because, like, he comes back. He only gets shown off coming out of Miz's locker room. And then he's like, yeah, I'm going to be in the Rumble. And he gets tossed out in like 2 seconds. Like, welcome back, John Morrison.
Good job, buddy. Man, Morrison, that's a good pick. I think I'm going to go with MVP because no one's talking about MVP.
A lot of people have already forgotten.
Yeah, I forgot. We were recording the show.
Yeah.
Stud of the night, I'll go first. I'm going to go with Beth Phoenix. She's a champ.
Yeah. I'm going Bianca Belair. She killed it. She did work. Big fan.
Cool. Bianca Belair. And she did work. She definitely did. So I guess, man, that's the Full Nelson Press episode 76. It's a wrap, dude. How's it feel to be back?
Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for everything. I'm not SpongeBob, but you get it.
I get it.
Let's go. TFNP is back.
Exactly.
Woo!
Well, if you enjoyed our witty banter about sports entertainment, make sure you leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you found us. So, anything else you want to add, Pete?
No.
All right, go watch some wrestling.
Yeah, bet.